Not Your Average Radio, big homie Monski, mixbosses.com, man. I got the homie legendary YD. How you doing, brother?
How you doing, man? I'm doing pretty good, bro.
I'm doing okay, man. I kind of screwed up and put the wrong track because I started something new on Not Your Average Radio. So on the website, it'll say interview legendary YD, but I put the wrong track on there, man. That's my bad. So instead of putting that little, it's like a blank track, it's just for the name purposes. I actually put someone else's interview on there. So shit. I don't know. We'll figure that out when we go into your tracks. But right now, I'm
Okay.
excited to have you, brother. Thank you for jumping on Not Your Average Radio for the interview, man.
Man, thank you for having me.
Of course, man. So again, like I talked to you a little bit, and like everybody knows that follows me on Not Your Average Radio. I'd like to talk about how we met. So shout out to the homie Guap City. He invited me over
Shout out, bro.
on what was it, Saturday? On Saturday, I was just chilling. You know what I mean? Saturday and Sunday are usually the days that I chill, and this weekend there were the fights and stuff like that. He hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I got this dope artist that I want you to meet, do the interview, and this way you guys can link up, all that shit." So, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a big, how do I say this? I like to take advantage of opportunities, right? So I was like, man, I really wanted to chill, watch a fight, but I got dressed, headed to LA, and you know, we did what we did, brother.
Oh, yeah, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. It was good having
Yeah, man. Hey, it was my pleasure, bro. It was my pleasure. The homie legendary YD was actually filming a video for his track Bitches, right? Or YD Bitches?
you. Yeah, bitch.
Bitches. Yeah. So it was a dope video. I can't wait for that video to come out. I'm just saying. You're doing it big, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, we trying, man. We striving. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
Progression, you know.
Definitely, man. So, hey, I already see you doing big things, brother. So, again, like I told you, we have some questions here for you. So, let me go ahead and start.
All right.
You're already
Shoot
doing
away.
big. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
I said, shoot away, man.
Dope, man. All right, so you're already doing big things, as I saw on Saturday, and I can't wait till people see the video. But how did you get started, man? How did you get started into the rapping game or the music game?
I've been doing music since I was about 5 years old, man. You know, it always played a big part in my household. You know, my mom had music constantly flowing through, and that's where, that's where I caught the ear for it, and I started, writing music, poetry, things like that. As I got older, it started to stick more and more. I got better. I was actually in a group. I moved to Madison, 2007. I got in a group in 2008. It went by the name of Young Deuces, man. We did a lot of good stuff in the Midwest. We did like Summerfest. I don't know if you guys heard of that, but Summerfest, Brockfest, Dane County Fair, all the fairs and all that in southern Wisconsin. And then, we did a bunch of shows, opening up for a bunch of big acts and things like that. And, man, that's pretty much where I got my start, and that's where I wanted that's how I knew I wanted to do this for a long time,
Dope, man. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you now?
I am 21, man.
Oh shit! So that's
21. So I've been doing this for about 16 years, but
man, that's crazy. That's really good, man. Obviously, when you're 5, it's but it's still a good start. But yeah, man, you've been doing it for a long
man,
time.
believe it or not, I knew it at 5 years old. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I kind of did a few other things, in my adolescence, but I always knew that's what I wanted to do, and I kind of always rode close to that path. You know what I mean?
Man, that's what's up, man. And I'll be honest with you, man. I envy that. You know what I mean? Because I'm 34 years old. You know what I mean? And I'm barely doing my grind. You know what I mean? I barely found out that radio is what is my passion. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but man, we all find our path, man, at later time. Some people never find it, so you know what I mean? You're doing good in my book, bro.
Appreciate you, brother. And you're absolutely right. Some people don't find it. You know what I mean? And at least I found it at a decent age, I guess you can say. But hey, this interview, again, I have a bad habit of taking over the interview, man. I'm sorry, man. So that's dope.
No, you all good, man.
That's dope, brother. That you've been doing it for a while, that you have been following your passion. That's another thing too. Someone can have a passion and not follow it and do, other things. You know what I mean? So that's definitely really dope, man. So looking forward to your future, man. You're only 21. You already been doing it for a while now, and you're already doing it big. I can't wait to see what you do in the near future. So we'll talk a little bit about that later in the interview. We talked about how you started. Let's talk about what you're working on right now. You have any EPs, mixtapes that you're working on or recently came out with? I know that you're working on that video. So what's up, brother?
Yeah, I'm actually at the moment, I'm working on my next project, and it goes by the name of 1994. And we wanted to get real creative with the title. So for the cover, it's 1994, but it's in Roman numerals. We got the Roman numeral joints going, and that's my EP right now. I live with a producer that's signed with Warner Brothers. He go by the name of Go Grizzly. He did a bunch of tracks like that 3 times in a row by, what's those guys' name? 3 times in a row by Tank and I forget his partner name, but then he did a couple days low tracks. He did Luca Brasi for Kevin Gates, and he did a little bit of Luca Brasi too. That's what we're working on right now. We're really just focused on like feel good music as of right now. You know what I mean? We wanna be able to create a vibe that people can rock with. You know, because all music is vibe. You know what I mean? So we're really focusing on that. You know what I mean? Getting people to rock out to good vibes and things like that. And I do actually have a few projects I released, but my most recent one released was Power. I won awards from it. It got featured in the Source magazine. I won Best Midwest Artist. I went out there to Manhattan, New York at BB King. We took that, me and my team. So, you know, real big accomplishment with that. It got picked up for ThisIs50.com and things like that, Vlad TV. So they had a couple blogs picked this up. I'm not sure if you guys heard of Stack of Star. They picked it up. Fake Shore Drive picked it up. So, you know, it's been a good last year and a half, 2 years for me.
Man, it sounds like it, man. That's really dope. So, Power, how many other projects do you have other than Power?
I have one other, and that's featuring YD. It's just a compilation of industry beats I did, man, in one verse. You know, I hop on, did a couple industry beats. I did about, I think, 12 songs, just, you know, killing industry beats, showing people that we can do the beats that's out there in the industry as well as our own. And then add our own originality and creativity to them. So,
man, that's dope. That's really good. Man, shout out to you for all those very strong media outlets that picked that Power project up, man. So shout out to you for that. That's really dope. I gotta check that one out.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. I thank the fans, man. They're the reason why it did so well, you know. So you can pick that up on my website, officialyd.com, or you can get that off that pit, YD Power on that pit. You should be able to pick that record up. Matter of fact, we cool, Monski. I'm gonna just do you a solid and send it to you after we get done with the interview.
Man, that's the one of the benefits of doing Nitro Average Radio for real, man, because I get a lot of dope music, you know what I'm saying, that a lot of people like have to go search for. People just send it to me, man. So I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's all love.
Of course, man. Nothing but love, brother. Nothing but love. So the tracks that you sent me Bitches and you sent me Dough. Is this from your new project you're working on?
Yeah, Bitches is pretty much just a bonus track because we haven't released any new music in the last, say, 3 months. So we wanted to give the people something they can, you know what I mean, just to let them know that we still around and we still making moves. So we came out with Bitches and we decided to do it the way we do it because there's really ain't nobody doing it like that. You know, ain't nobody really getting it, orchestrating things like that. So we decided to let people know what it is. And Dope, yeah, that's the track off the next project, 1994, the EP. Crazy beat, man. It's crazy. It's a crazy joint, man. And the funny thing is, I actually, no premeditation went into that track whatsoever. We just hopped in the booth, man, and caught vibes. And then, 20, 30 minutes later, we had that track. That track was born.
That's what's up, man. Honestly, sometimes those are like the best tracks. You know what I mean? When, like you said, the beat's crazy, you're feeling it. You go in there and just drop your verses or the verse, whatever the case might be. And those are usually the best ones, man, because you come out of your feeling rather than
exactly, man. You go in there and drop verses like bodies, man.
There you go.
Man. Yeah, man. And I do a lot of my music like that nowadays. So it definitely works for me.
Man, it sounds good, but it sounds good. I'm looking forward to listening to these tracks. You sent them to me today. I haven't had a chance. The Bitches is obviously the video you were shooting when I met you.
Yeah.
When you guys are shooting the video, obviously I could hear the track, man. So the track sounds really dope. Obviously, it was just like playing through a little speaker, so I'm looking forward to bumping it. It sounds really dope as it is. Hey, any idea when that video is gonna come out? I'm very curious. I don't know if the people are listening. I want to know.
As of right now, we still working on that date because we want to build the promo around it. So as of right now, we still building it. It should be I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but it should be out by mid-September.
Oh, okay.
So in about 2 weeks.
This is okay. Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, listening to Nitro Average Radio. He's just putting it out there. It's not for sure, so don't hit him up. Like, where's the video?
Yeah, we want to make sure everything right. We move strategic, so we just want to make sure everything right for everybody before we just get the promising things, you know.
Yeah, man. Hey, the most important part, like you said, you want to drop a good product, not a rushed one. But hey, you have the two dopest videographers in the game with the homie Wacko and Guap City, man. So I'm looking forward, not only because of, of you being in it and your people that were in it, but the visuals are going to be crazy. I already know.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Guap and shout out to Wacko, man. Them boys definitely about their work, It was, they both was real hands-on from start to finish, and they both was real worried about bringing my ideas to life. So, man, shout out to them guys.
Yes, sir, man. All right. So like I told you, we're talking about these two tracks, Bitches and Dough. I'm going to go ahead and drop them. If you'd like, big homie, go ahead and introduce your tracks, Bitches and Dough. And as soon as you're done, I'll go ahead and play them right here, Not Your Average Radio.
All right, man. It's your boy, Legendary YD. You're tuning in with me and my boy Monski right now on Not Your Average Radio. And right now, you're getting a world premiere of my new tracks, man. Bitches and Dough. So check them out. You say just to show them to your bitches. Pictures, just to show them to your bitches, so you can make a jealous. You know you're bad in a motherfucker. Ooh, but I ain't gonna chase you, no.
Not Your Average Radio, big homie Monski, mixbosses.com, man. We got the homie Legendary YD in the house. How you doing, brother?
What's going on?
Not much, man. I'm just sitting back here enjoying the interview. Dope tracks, man. I'm really feeling that Bitches track for real. That's real dope.
Oh, thank you, man. We appreciate it on this end.
Of course, man. That's how we do it right here. Like I said, we were talking about nothing but love. Like I was telling the homie Legendary YD, part of my favorite part of an interview is the time when their tracks are playing and then I just chop it up behind the scenes with them. You know what I mean? I didn't know this about the homie YD, that he is from the Midwest. I met him on Saturday in downtown LA. He was, he's doing his thing, all that good stuff. And right now he is telling me, he's like, oh man, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning over here where I'm at. I'm like, where the hell are you at? He's like, oh, I'm from the Midwest. I was like, oh shit. So something I didn't know. So shout out to you, man, for flying out here to do the video. I keep wanting to call it an interview, for doing the video. And, like you said, you did some other interviews and stuff like that and then flying back, man. That's what it's about.
Oh, yeah, man. It's all in the weekend's work, man. When there's about 5 days, we're out there, all in the day's work.
That's why you're doing big things, brother, because, you're going out of your way to make stuff happen like that. So people see that, Again, I didn't even know. And I was like, oh, shit, that's really dope, man. So shout out to you for putting in that work, brother.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I very much appreciate it, man.
All right, cool.
And if I can add something real quick, man, I always believe that you can manifest anything you wanted in your life, so I keep that in mind when I strive for greatness, this world we live in, man, was a thought, so we knew how powerful our thoughts were. We were thinking that's the thought, and that's what I try to walk along that line of positivity every morning, every day, just try to manifest what I see in my head,
No doubt, man, you're absolutely right, brother. Yeah, everything comes from an idea. And that's what's up, man. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, you gotta work hard to manifest, It might take a little bit more time than you think it may take, but it's all possible. You just gotta have faith.
See, and that's the positive energy that I love. I've been very blessed. Everybody that I've interviewed comes with very positive attitudes. They talk like you talk, you know what I mean? Like, hey man, just think positively, everything will manifest itself, this and this and that. So I'm kind of curious, I'm really interested in what you're going to say to the next question. This is my favorite question now that I ask because I get the deepest answers from the person that I'm interviewing. So, like I told you before, man, my next question, if you could please let us know, what is like one of the hardest parts in your, since you were 5 years old till now, what do you think has been the biggest obstacle that you overcame in your process, brother? And how you overcame that?
That's a really good question, by the way. I feel like the biggest difficulty was overcoming myself. And what I mean by that is just changing my mind and getting my mind right for this, Because There's nothing standing in your way, no obstacles in the way but the ones you put in your way. And that's by the way you think, you know what I mean? So with that being said, you know what I mean, that was the biggest obstacle. And it was just me pushing myself to get outside my comfort zone and be fearless and be bold and things like that, you know. And things that helped me do that, I read a lot of self-development books, you know. I read Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, The Powers of the Subconscious Mind. I do a lot of self-development work on myself, you know, getting my mind where it needs to be, things like that. So that's the biggest difficulty is overcoming self-doubt and, you know, and fear.
Man, I already knew you're going to give a good, well, there's no such thing as a good or a bad answer because everybody experiences are different, but I already knew that you're going to give a powerful answer like that, man. So shout out to you. Thank you for sharing that with us, brother.
Yeah, no problem, man. Wherever I can help, you know, if that can help somebody out there, man, so be it, you know?
And that's exactly it. That's why I call this Not Your Average Radio. You know, we're here, you know, obviously for the music. You know, we're here on the radio. You know, I like to act a fool sometimes, so it's entertaining. You know, people think I'm funny, but I also want people to learn stuff from it. You know what I mean? Because all of us are on our grind. You know, we're all trying to get somewhere. And I honestly believe that we can learn from everybody, you know, and I don't just interview artists. I've interviewed radio hosts. I've interviewed entrepreneurs, one of them which is that sells tequila. I'm gonna be interviewing a makeup artist real soon too. You know what I mean? So I fuck with anybody that is putting in work, no matter what the work is in. As long as you're putting in work and you're going through it, that's what I want to learn from and hear from. You know what I mean? So, you know, shout out to you for doing your thing.
Man, shout out to you for having that type of mindset, you know, because in the end, it's really not about the message, you know what I mean? It's about the message they keep, what they leave behind. So shout out to you for being aware of all that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Thank you for that, for real. And that's exactly it, man. That's the common idea that everybody at the end of the day, it's about you. You know what I mean? And you have to overcome yourself and you have to believe in yourself to do anything. You know what I mean? So, you know, I honestly, I'm over here like fist pumping. Like I wish I had video, but when you're talking, I'm like, yes. Like that's the kind of stuff that motivates me, man, for real. So again, man, that's what's up. That's dope. And, oh, by the way, I also had another interviewee, Crisco Kid. We dropped a book list as well. So we also promote reading on Not Your Average Radio. So I would like to get, you know, like if you want to do it after the interview or you want to drop them right now. You already mentioned Napoleon Hill and the other book that you mentioned, you know, like a couple books of like what you like to read. You know what I mean? So I have 5 books from the homie Crisco Kid. It'll be cool to get like 5 books from the homie Legendary YD. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, dope. Yeah, I can do that for you, definitely.
Because again,
we can take care of that off air if you like.
All right, cool. Anyways, let's get back. See, we're getting derailed. I am derailing the interview. I'm just very excited, man, that we got such a dope young. You know, that's the thing. That's the key. He's 21 years old and he's already thinking this way. Man, shout out to you for real for that, man. But one more question, and then we can get into anything else that we want to talk about. But all right, so we already know where you came from. We know what you're doing. So you're 21 years old, man. So what do you see yourself doing in the next year? You know, what's your future goals, man?
Man, I said in the next year, I see myself selling music on iTunes. I see my music doing very well on iTunes and doing performances around the country. Just moving around a lot, you know, doing a lot of performances, selling a lot of merchandise, selling the brand, you know what I mean? And the next year, we have enough momentum, we have enough under our belt to where, you know, the business will be running fluent. We had a machine built, so.
That's what's up, man. Let me just add this to it. You know, again, like I told you, you know, it's Not Your Average Radio. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? So you're 21 years old. Where do you see yourself about 25, 26 years old? 25.
I see myself being bigger than that guy they call Drake out there.
There it is.
I see myself shattering the billboards, urban and pop, you know what I mean, things like that. Just being a songwriter for various artists in the game, you know, doing my thing, still recording, doing music, doing shows internationally, you know, giving back to the community, doing a bunch of fundraisers, giving back to the kids, back to school stuff and things like that. I feel I'm going to do a lot for the community. In the next 5 years, a lot is going to be done for my company, Legendary Entertainment, and a lot is going to be done for my company and youth. So.
You see, and that's the most important part, man, giving back. That's dope, man. Wow, I'm very impressed, man, the way you're thinking and your goals that you have. That's really dope. Oh, by the way, I just remembered right now, I wanted to mention this morning, the homie Legendary YD, he hits me up on Snapchat and it says you have a Snapchat from God. Did you know that it says that?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? I was telling my coworkers, I was like, I didn't know God had a Snapchat. I was laughing. It was funny. I was like, who is this? And then I went in there and I saw it was you. I was like, oh, that's dope, man. That's really cool.
Yeah, I can tell you where that came from. We all are gods in a sense. God. I know you heard this probably various different ways and all that, but God created us in His image. I don't know if you're a religious person. I don't really want to get too far into religion, for some of the viewers' sake, some of the listeners' sake, but I feel like we're all a God. You know what I mean? And we're created in His image. We're co-creating. I'm just God of my universe. I create my world, my universe. I'm the God of that universe.
Okay, I see what you're saying, man. I see what you're saying. Again, me personally, I'm not religious, but hey, I don't hate on anybody that is. To each their own.
Yeah, or that higher power, the universe, whatever you want to call it.
Right, and I could relate to that as well. Yeah, but that's dope, man. I just wanted you to know that I thought that was crazy. I was like, it says you have a snap, from God. I was like, what the? I was like, my prayers have been answered. Hopefully it's like $1 million deal to go to Ski Radio or something, or Shade 45, and I was like, yes. But it was still dope, man. It was you hitting me up so we can do this interview, so I still win at the end, man. So shout out to you for that. That was really dope, though.
All right, thanks a lot, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So that's all the questions I have for you. If you want to mention anything else that you're working on, go ahead. But this is usually the time, if you want to give any shout outs, you want to let everybody know where they can get a hold of you, through your whatever you want to do right now, brother. Let them know.
All right, man. I appreciate everybody for listening, man. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All Legendary YD. Instagram is legendary_YD. That's LEGENDARY_YD. Facebook, Legendary YD. And Twitter, Legendary YD. I want to give a shout out to the Legendary Squad. First, we're going to give a shout out to the Most High God, for all this being possible. I want to shout out my legendary niggas, Legendary J10, Legendary Kane, Legendary Star, and Legendary D-Block, to my brother. I want to shout out my mama, my moms, my brothers, all my immediate family at home and things like that. We just rocking out, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out my boy Monski, and Not Your Average Radio for having me on tonight. We blessed. We very blessed.
That's what's up, man. Again, hey, thank you, man. Shout out to you for having me at your, I want to say interview so bad. I don't know why. To your video shoot on Saturday, Thank you for allowing me to come and hang out and, you jumping onto Not Your Average Radio. I appreciate you, brother. I'm looking forward to the 1994 project that you're going to be dropping. But for now, I'm going to keep these tracks in rotation, if you don't mind, here on Not Your Average Radio.
Let's do it.
That's what's up, man. That's what I got, man. So again, thank you for doing that. I'm going to go talk to the homie Legendary YD about getting this book list together. We're trying to elevate everybody to the next level, not just music, but also intellectually. That's what it's about. So again, shout out to the homie Legendary YD right here, Not Your Average Radio.